Look, I've failed more times than I've succeeded. I've made more mistakes than I could possibly count, and I'm sure that you can relate to that at least to some degree. The thing is, I got through it, and so can you. And the best part for you is that you can do it faster than I did if you just skip the mistakes that I've made. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Chris M. Walker. I am the CEO and founder of Legiit.com, the world's only B2B growth engine that gives businesses the technology, talent, training, and tracking they need to fulfill their business goals, and Superstar SEO, a seven-figure SEO brand. And in my last video, I told you what I did that worked to make all of that possible. Well, those were just the successful things. It's also important to know where the landmines are so you don't step on them the way that I did. For example, the first and biggest thing I did wrong was not picking a direction and sticking to it. When I first decided I wanted to be an internet entrepreneur, which is just a fancy way of saying making money online, my goal was to make money. It wasn't well defined at all, so I just kind of flailed around for years, wasting time and not making any real progress or any real money, really. Building a business is a journey, and just like when you start an actual journey, you need to know where you're going if you're ever going to get there. If you don't have a plan, you become susceptible to the second mistake I made, which is falling for way too many gimmicks and shiny objects like the ones that I'm showing you on the screen right now. I bought course after course, software after software, shiny object after shiny object, and I never got anywhere with most any of them. I'm sure I would make a little bit of money here and there doing like Amazon arbitrage, taking surveys, doing print on demand, and so on. But I never got anywhere because these were just flavor of the month type gimmicks and weren't really teaching me any marketable skills. Which that was the next mistake I made, was not actually learning and getting good at anything. All the time I spent wasting my very limited money and time on this crap cost me years of learning any decent skills that I could provide people in exchange for money and actually benefit them. Now, sure, these gimmicks would make me money in the short term, but once they stopped working, I was right back to square one because I hadn't learned anything and I didn't have anything of value. So the first thing I wanted to do was affiliate marketing through affiliate websites. I didn't even realize that what I was doing was called SEO, but thankfully it was because when affiliate marketing stopped working for me, I had to learn how to fix it through good SEO. Now, this wasn't a linear process either. Affiliate marketing failing me led me to buy yet another product and course, but thankfully this one is where I learned about client SEO, which gave me my first glimpse of having an actual direction. The person that produced that course also opened a freelance marketplace that I signed up for on a whim, and influenced by my experience with Amazon arbitrage, I started arbitraging other people's services because that's what I knew, gimmicks and arbitraging other people's stuff. So after about a year of success with client SEO and freelancing, mostly but not entirely through arbitrage, I was finally able to 100% go into business for myself on my own. And you would think arbitraging other people's skills would have taught me the value of having other people help you, but it would be another year before I learned the next mistake, waiting too long to hire some help. Now, I quit my day job in August of 2016, and things really took off for me at that time. I was really busy doing all the sales, marketing, and fulfillment by myself because I didn't want to give up any of my profits from my new business. And honestly, how stupid is that? I was arbitraging people's services, but wouldn't hire someone to help me, which is the same thing, only better. After a while, though, I hit a bottleneck and a constraint that not only could I not grow, I was getting burned out and miserable. So I finally made my first full-time hire, and the truth is, things changed for me in less than a month. The next month after that, we began planning Legiit and launched it a few months later, and it is still helping businesses grow to new heights almost 7 years later. If you want help growing, scaling, and diagnosing your business for free, head over to legiit.com/dashboard/start and get all the technology, talent, training, and tracking you need from the world's only B2B growth engine. I also launched my long-term SEO program, Superstar SEO Academy, around that time. And none of that would have been possible if I hadn't made that one hire. And both of these businesses did numbers for me that I previously never would have dreamed of and couldn't have gotten to without that one hire. Unfortunately, that brings me to the next mistake I made, not knowing my numbers. Now, in my defense, most business owners are absolutely terrible at this, but so was I, and that's no excuse. If you want to grow a business, you need to know the lifetime value of your customer, your cost to acquire customer, your churn rate, your burn rate, and a bunch of other key analytics and metrics that power your business. You cannot run a successful business on gut instinct alone. You need to be able to look at numbers, identify problems, and solve them. And the only way to reliably do that is to track your numbers. And you'll notice that I said you need to be able to track your numbers. This isn't something you can hand off and not even look at. You need to know what is going on in your business and not trust just anyone that sells you on something. I also mentioned before that hiring was important, but you also can't just hand everything off to people and have no idea what's going on in your business, because I know that because that's the next mistake I made, not paying close enough attention to key areas of my businesses. No matter how good someone you hire is, no matter how dedicated they are and how loyal they remain, no one will ever be as passionate about your business as you are. No one will understand it as well as you do. So you have to know what is going on, at least at a high level, in every major area. Because guess what? If something goes wrong or isn't working, it's your fault and no one else's, and you're the one that has to fix it. I learned this lesson the hard way on multiple occasions, and I still do sometimes, if I'm being perfectly honest. I had accountants that literally just didn't file my taxes and affected my business's legal standing. I hired agencies that frankly didn't know their ass from a hole in the ground and cost me a ton of money for no results, all because I trusted their judgment, even though when I knew what they were having me do was not going to work. I had all kinds of fraud I had to discover the hard way because I wasn't prepared, and that cost me literally hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the list goes on and on and on. And here's the kicker: no one is to blame but me, because I didn't have a good handle on what was going on in my business. Now, I'm not saying that you have to micromanage people, but I am saying you have to know what's going on in your business. Look out for potential pitfalls, constraints, and bottlenecks. Knowing what mistakes not to make and avoiding them is a major key for a successful business, but you should also know what you should do as well. So if you want to see what worked for me, click the video on your screen right now for my exact success framework.